Hello and welcome to Knockhill Racing Circuit for the penultimate round of the Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup. Now, race 1 is lining up in the holding bay behind me, and I want to speak to our pole position man, to a kind of familiar face, Kenny Brewster. Pole position, a great start to the day, kind of, but it didn't go. It wasn't that straightforward, was it?
No, it wasn't. Great start, maybe doesn't quite cover it. It was good terms result-wise, but unfortunately, Stephen's brakes failed coming into the hairpin on the last lap, and we kind of collected one another. So. With regard to result, yeah, ideal with regard to where we'd both like to be. We're probably not like where we are, but we're not far away.
Your brother won the touring car meet, and we know he's got the pace. Obviously, that problem in qualifying's put him away down the grid there, but you're on pole position. Are you thinking about him at all, or is it just out there to win?
Yeah, thinking about him to an extent. You know, he's in the championship more than I am. But at the end of the day, you know, I think first and foremost we've got to try and go out there and win it. So it's all about first corner and just see where we come to in the race. If Stephen's there or thereabout, we can see what we can do. But yeah, first and foremost, we're here to race more than anything else. So
they say it's bad enough teammates driving into each other, but teammates and brothers, I mean, it wasn't ideal. You seem to have come off not too bad. The car looks reasonably straight. Your brother's car, however, looks like it's a bit second-hand.
Bit second-hand indeed, yeah. No, I mean, largely, at the end of the day, I'm not going to scream and shout about it because, you know, the way that the car hit, I knew it wasn't, he'd missed his brakes, and I knew the brakes had gone because it was a fair impact. So I think we've just kind of got to pick ourselves up from that and just try and see what we can do with the rest of the day.
Good luck, see if we can turn it around.
Thanks, Joe.
Right. Oh, there we go. Let's have a wee wander further back. Where are we going here? I want to speak to a man, second on the grid, David Slay, virtually champion, and I want to speak to Tim. We saw Tim have the mother of all accidents at the last round, and I want to jump in and grab a word with him if I can, because he's here in a different car. Tim, if we can get you. Tim, a slightly different car.
Yes, it is. Fortunately, Bruce Taxis came to my rescue and we sort of helped me out with our car for this weekend. Obviously, my brother sort of pretty much stitched up the championship just now. I wanted to come out and obviously sort of try and help the team along, and obviously do my bit for Athena Asset Management and various other sponsors like JRM Coachworks as well, you know.
We haven't spoken to you since that accident. We all saw it on TV at the last round, or a couple of rounds ago. It was potentially the biggest accident I've ever seen at Knockhill, let alone in the minis. It was a huge accident. Any effects from that?
No, not really. I mean, the medics, the marshals and everything as well, did a great job of getting me out of the car and that as well. I was putting back in the back of the ambulance there as well, and went through their various checks and everything as well. I'd like to say a big thanks to all the sort of crew for the marshals at Knockhill, and obviously all the medics as well that sort of looked after me. But no, I got a wee bit sore ribs after that, but obviously wearing the hands device as well protects your neck, so more ego than anything else pretty much it was damaged. And
no flashbacks as you're halfway down the hill?
No, hopefully not, but it seemed to go okay on testing. I'm on different suspension this car, it's a new car, feels completely different, so I played about with it in testing yesterday, went in qualifying, felt okay, a couple of wee sort of tweaks here and there, and I think I'm not doing too badly in it, so it should be okay.
It feels, I mean, the Newcomers is up for grabs. You've obviously got Malcolm, he can take the Newcomer, so that's a little bit of pressure there. Second, third in the championship still up for grabs, but it almost feels with your brother's position that the pressure's kind of off. You're just here for the fun?
To be honest, I'm really here to help Malcolm out. That's what I'm here to do. I'm out here, yeah, obviously I want to do sort of well for myself, the team, sponsors and all that sort of stuff, but basically my brother's won the championship. That's not undoable pretty much. For myself, I'm in a good position sitting in second there. It's all about pretty much helping Malky get the third spot in the overall championship and win the Newcomers.
And obviously you've done a pretty good job because he's one spot ahead of you.
Yeah, it's perfect. He's driving really well.
Almost as if it was planned.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It's never planned. I was out there I was on pole at one point. I was trying to put it together, but we're here and it's a great position.
Good stuff. Don't take him off in the race.
I won't do. Thank you.
There we go, race 1's about to begin. I'll hand it upstairs to Richard and he'll take you through the starting order.
Thanks very much, Joe. And pole position, as we heard, going to Kenny Brewster, David Slay on his outside. The car's coming onto the grid. When I spoke to Tim Slay at the touring car meeting, he told me that he wasn't racing for the rest of the year. So the championship's back open again. More of that and on. Kenny Brewster pole, David Slay alongside, Malcolm McNabb and Tim Slay on row 2. Then it's Shane Stoney and Steve Brewster completing row 3. Kyle Reid and Ross Wiley next. Lewis Grant and Scott McKenzie round out the top 10, followed by John Finlayson and Chris Reed. Next is Fiona Wallace, who's the top lady. Then it's Will Smith, Elaine Marshall and Emma Bruce sharing row 8, followed by Danny Dreelan and Josh Baird. The grid completed by Mikey Falconer, Steph McMurdo and Guy Johnston at the back of the field. 21 cars, a good grid at any time of the year, but especially so when we've had a few drivers who've had championship aspirations wane and dropped away from things. round 19, race 19 of the 2012 Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup, about to get underway here at Knockhill. Now, championship-wise, 99 points between David Slay and his brother Tim. Tim told me he wasn't racing for the rest of the year, but he's back in. He's still in with an outside chance of taking the title, but David Slay could well officially wrap it up today. Let's see how it unfolds. Kenny Brewster will be at the top of the hill waiting. We're looking at the Guy Johnston, Stephen Burdo down towards the back of the field. Flag from the back saying that all is okay. Conditions good here at Knockhill for this most excellent championship, the most cost-effective championship that you could get. The bang for buck here is absolutely stunning. It's one of the best saloon car championships in the UK, if not in Europe, if not the world. We love it to bits. Why not come and have a go? This is it. Kenny Brewster on pole position. Outside, David Slay in silver with the red stripes. Away they go. Slay gets away well. Tim Slay in the red car. We're used to seeing George Orr use that one. He's got away well. Malcolm McNabb is in fourth place, followed by Steve Brewster. But it's David Slay who gets away first. Tim looks up the inside of Kenny Brewster, switches to the outside line. As they go down through the turn, off goes Lewis Grant. Car number 24 in black goes off onto the rallycross circuit. He'll rejoin. It looks like the car's okay. Thankfully, no roly-polies this time, as we saw in the cutaway shot when Joe was chatting to Tim Slay. Nothing as dramatic as that, but probably nonetheless a heart-stopping moment for Lewis Grant, who qualified in 9th place. Leaders up to Carloop for the first time. David Slay leads, Kenny Brewster second. Third place is Tim Slay, then it's Malcolm McNabb in car number 4. Malcolm looking at the outside line. Is Tim going to concede? He's in fact Tim down to 4th place and McNabb up to 3rd. This is pretty much the plan for Team Slay Racing. Through go the field, all looking pretty sharp. Nice bright conditions here, as you can see the sun out in its glory casting the shadows of the cars that go up across the line past the pit wall. Get a real feel of the speed of these cars. This championship, as we said, so cost effective. When you think about drivers that make their way up the motorsport ladder, granted a lot of drivers make it up on talent, but there are a lot of formulas at what we call the top level in motor racing, where it's budgets that buy their way in. And this championship, you're going to see talent really at the front. It is about preparation, but a big checkbook's not necessarily going to buy you a fast car in this championship. It is going to come down to talent, and it is just so refreshing to see when you've got drivers with bigger checkbooks than talent banks, shall we say, making it up. But these guys are all absolutely superb. Look at the newcomers that have come into this championship. The newcomers competition, Malcolm McNabb leads it. Ross Wiley, 315 points, he's second in the newcomers. Steve Clark third on 271. They're all vying for honours. The overall championship led by the reigning champion. There he is, David Slay through. Kenny Brewster second, Malcolm McNabb third. Then it's the red car of Tim Slay in 4th position. Steve Brewster trying to come through. McNabb challenging for second. Malcolm McNabb all over the back of Ken Brewster as we look back from the number 7 machine. McNabb drops back a little bit down Duffer's Tip into Scotsman Corner. There's a gap of about 2 lengths between the cars, accentuated by the cameras. Through the chicane, Brewster hanging on to second at the moment. The Slay boys will be looking to try and deal with Ken Brewster. Absolutely showed his class at the touring car meeting with a superb win, and also took pole position earlier on in the season, of course, in the touring car round at Croft. Down behind them a gaggle of cars, including Stephen Brewster, who's trying to climb his way through. And here comes Malcolm McNabb, looks to the inside, now goes to the outside line as they come up to the hairpin. So out of the hairpin we go. McNabb getting close, comes to the outside line. Look at that, he's almost got all 4 wheels over the white line, and he's having a real good go. He got so much more momentum coming up the hill. Now where is he? Has he got past? Has he pulled off this manoeuvre? We're looking back. Tim Slay behind us, but has Malcolm McNabb got into second? There he is. No, he hasn't. Oh, and he backs off. The Athena car drops back into 3rd place, but 10 out of 10 for effort. Good, clean, side-by-side racing from these 2 cars into Scotsman. Tim Slay's coming up as well in 3, and this is Tim Slay's roll now. You can see Stephen Brewster behind in the yellow and black car, and this is effectively Tim Slay is being wingman to Malcolm McNabb in 3rd place and protecting him. Now, just to explain the situation in the overall championship, Stephen Brewster is 3rd in the championship, Malcolm McNabb 4th. This is the overall title we're talking about rather than newcomers. So it's absolutely crucial here. I bet the Brewsters probably aren't that happy about Tim Slay coming back out, but he's perfectly entitled to do so. He's raced hard all year. As we look at this continuing battle for second position, McNabb again looks to the outside line, and this, I remember, is a driver challenging for the Newcomers Championship. Looks anything but a newcomer to me. He's a seasoned racer. He's not one of the youngsters coming out of karts. He's got a couple more years than most of the young karters in terms of age, but he really is a very, very good quick racing driver who's come in, adapted well, and he's through into second place. Malcolm McNabb past Kenny Brewster. We've seen him win races this year. David Slay is away and down the road, and now Kenny Brewster is going to come under the very close scrutiny of Tim Slay in the red 3 car. Down behind them, Stephen Brewster. Following them, Kyle Reid in the white and green trimmed number 20 car. And then Shane Stoney in the 89, newcomer to the championship.
Welcome to another episode of Racing No Filter. Joining me in sunny California, Bill Wood, and down in sunny Florida, Peter King.
We're going to take a look at some of the products HPD has created for the 2012 Honda Civic, and specifically we're going to show you how to install an adjustable sway bar.
Until then, folks out there, you take care.
So still under safety car here at Knockhill Circuit for round 19 of the championship. First of 3 races here. Now the normal meeting procedure is 3 races, 2 straight races, and then a partially reversed grid, exactly like the British touring cars, which is of course what most of these drivers aspire to. I don't suppose some of them will get the money or the opportunity to race in touring cars and emulate one of the main men at the circuit, Gordon Shedden, going to touring cars, but that's what they'd like to do. If they don't make it, they take a part in this, which, as I said, is an absolutely stunning championship. It's given us terrific entertainment over the years. There in white and yellow is Elaine Marshall, who leads the championship at the moment, the Ladies' Cup. 3 separate trophies overall, Newcomers and Ladies. The Fiona Wallace is the reigning champion in the Ladies. Emma Bruce running 3rd in the championship at the moment from the Ladies, teammate to Elaine Marshall. And this is the view from David Slay, the race leader, behind the safety car, and he's getting ready to do the restart. You can see the gadgetry in the car. He's got a lap timer, so he knows how well he is doing, and he's done pretty much all the hard work this year. Had to wait until the first reverse grid race of the year to take his first win. Back that up with 2 more wins in the opening 2 races as opposed to the reverse grid. That was in May. Again, here at Knockhill Circuit, took a double at Alton Park on the away round, first of the away rounds, a podium and a 4th place at Croft, and then at the touring car round took a win on the Saturday and a 7th position on the Sunday in front of the live TV cameras, but he won the support race on the Saturday. And everybody on the package, the touring car package, saying this was the best racing they've seen. And here we go again. David Slay leads them away. 2nd place is Malcolm McNabb. Tim Slay 3rd. 4th position is Kenny Brewster. Here they go all the way across the line. Brewster coming under pressure from his brother Stephen. Then it's Kyle Reid. Now Steve Brewster could use a bit of Team Brewster team racing here himself, and it would give Stephen one more point if he pulls over and moves out of the way. I'm not sure that Kenny wants to do that. These two were paired up in our last programme, the mini endurance race on the Knockhill Motor Racing Club meeting, which you may well have seen, and I hope you did, because we had some good entertainment there, and the 2 brothers were paired up in Kenny's car. This is the view back at the moment. Stephen doesn't seem to be near enough to make a challenge. Out of Carloop corner they go, and heading down the straight. This is the view then from the 3rd place car. Kenny's car prepared by Craig Noble's Minimax Motorsport concern, and Kenny coming from Edinburgh. And Kenny has had 3 fastest laps so far this year. 2 retirements. 2 of the retirements, so he set the fastest lap on as well, so maybe he was just pushing a little bit too hard, who knows. But there is Tim Slade, 4th place on his return to the Formula in that loaned car, running very well indeed, down to through Duffus they go. Getting away at the moment is David Slade. It's the car of Will Smith that's off at Scotsman Corner. So into the closing stages of this race, and the retirements so far, Steph McMurdo and Will Smith. Chris Reed didn't make the start, incidentally. And we're being told that the officials are looking closely at Josh Baird's driving standards at the moment, so whether that will manifest itself in the race results remains to be seen. But now we've got a challenge on again, and Kenny Brewster around the outside of Tim Slade as they come down into the hairpin. Slade's got surely the correct line, but we've seen the outside line give more momentum. Slade forces him off onto the dirt, and Kenny Brewster, who's a hat load of positions there. Well, Tim Slade was having absolutely none of that as his brother goes onto the last lap in lead position. Malcolm McNabb, his teammate and leader of the Newcomers Championship, is in 2nd position. Down the hill they go. After this race, there will be 126 points left in the championship. David Slade will take 25 for the win. Tim Slade will take 16. It's still not going to be enough of a gap to secure absolutely and finally the championship for David Slade, but he of course will carry on up to Carloop for the last time. Here we go, our sleigh ride on the last lap out of Carloop Corner, down through Hislops. The last section of the track comes into view, down into the hairpin, and that big climb up through the hairpin and up the hill to the checkered flag is what we'll see. Very neat and tidy from David Slade. Textbook racing line, doesn't go too far on the exit. Couple of wheels on the curve, and now the climb up the hill to the checkered flag. And David Slade is going to win round 19. He does. Malcolm McNabb is very close in 2nd place. 3rd is Tim Slade. 4th position is Stephen Brewster, Kyle Reid, Scott McKenzie, Kenny Brewster. Ross Wiley crosses the line in 8th. Then it's Shane Stoney. Following Shane, Elaine Marshall, Fiona Wallace. What a cracking race from the Celtic Speed boys and girls in this championship. It is such a fantastic competition, and we still don't have our champion. But this man, the reigning champion, is very, very nearly there. David Slade takes the win with Malcolm McNabb 2nd, also bagging the fastest lap. Tim Slade 3rd from Steve Brewster, and Kyle Reid in 5th. Scott McKenzie rounding out the top 6. They were followed by Kenny Brewster, Ross Wiley in 8th from Shane Stoney, Elaine Marshall, ladies win once again from Fiona Wallace, Danny Dreeland comes home in 12th place, and 13th goes to Mikey Falconer. 14th Emma Bruce with 15th Lewis Grant. They were followed by Guy Johnston and John Finlayson.
Second place, Malcolm McNabb. I always struggle with your name, but there we go. Malcolm McNabb, a great result, newcomers wise and overall championship.
Yeah, definitely. That was what I needed to do. Just get past Stephen for the main championship and get in front of Ross for the newcomers. So that's a brilliant result. And 1, 2, 3 for the team. Can't ask for any more.
Exactly, you've got some experienced guys pulling for you here, and they juggle it nicely. They seem to know exactly what they're doing, even though it doesn't appear that way sometimes.
They're good. They're great to work with. That's the thing, you know. Last few events been coming on, and it's been in no small part due to advice the team's been giving me. You know, it's one thing coming up and having a car that's set up absolutely spot on, but they'll bring me on with driver coaching tips. They've helped me all the way through. That's why I've come on this season. So credit to them for it.
Well done so far. We've still got the rest of the day to go, though. I'll move across to our winner for the 10th time this year. I've been doing my research because I keep getting it wrong and upsetting you. 10 wins. It's been a pretty good season so far.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? That's quite a good tally to have, kind of bit.
Now, obviously, championship-wise, it's kind of done. I don't think your brother next year is going to do anything too dramatic to take it off you. Are you thinking like that?
Not at all, no. I think we'll go back now and have a wee discussion about where we are at the moment points-wise and see what's best for the team.
Good stuff. And finally, the brother, back from that huge accident. I keep going on about it, but it was quite spectacular. Back in a different car and no side effects.
No side effects. Ribs are still a wee bit sore because I was like, after the incident I hurt my ribs a wee touch, but seemed to be okay. Then foolishly I went out wakeboarding last weekend and crashed my brains out there as well. Maybe I should give up all sorts of extreme sports, But it's great. I just want to say a huge thanks to obviously Team Slay Racing, particularly my mechanic Chris Mack, who worked through the hours with me just to get the car out and everything as well. That Bruce Taxis were good enough to sort of lend me for the weekend. Massive thanks to our sponsors as well, primary sponsors there, Athena Asset Management, JRM Coachworks and Pentland Powder Coat, and thank you very much to everybody and obviously all the supporters.
Good stuff. You guys manipulated that race, and I'm looking forward to see what you're going to do in race 2.
Well, I think the writing's on the wall pretty much. What we've got to do. My brother's fighting for the Champion of Champions trophy. He's won the overall sort of thing. We're just trying to get it, same as everybody else. We're trying to get as much as we can for the team possibly. I think that's the last time you'll probably see my brother on the podium, to be fair, this season. Well, sorry, not the podium, but the top step anyway. But there we go. We'll see what happens.
Good stuff. Well done, Tim.
Thank you. Cheers.
Race number 2 for the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup in association with Celtic Speed, and as you can see, most of the cars are lined up behind me in the holding bay. Familiar faces at the front. On pole position we have David Slay, basically champion already. It's only his brother who can stop him, and I don't see that happening. Second place, Malcolm McNabb is the man that they're both looking after, another Team Slay car. And then third place is a Team Slay top 3 with Tim. I'm getting confused with my Slays here, with Tim. Next up we have Stephen Brewster in a car that is absolutely battered after problems in qualifying when he lost his brake pedal and ran into the back of his brother, but he's done really well to get up to 4th, and I want to speak to a man who is starting in his best position, I would imagine, Scott McKenzie. Scott, don't take this the wrong way, but what are you doing up this end of the grid?
I'm not too sure, Joe.
It's not a familiar car, it's not your regular car, it's the car of one of your friends. Run us through the story here.
Basically the car's Alan Walk's car, and I've been running the Minimax hire car all season. I wasn't that happy with the car, so Alan let me borrow his.
And it's made a difference?
Well, you've answered your own question, yes.
Now don't get starstruck being this far up. We're going to see some progress, we're going to see you going towards the front, we're going to see a podium.
That would be nice, but I think it's unlikely.
Is this the best starting position that you've had?
Yes.
Are you nervous?
I was until you started talking to me.
Oh, thanks very much. I'll let you get on. I can see there's a pressure situation. I'll hand it to Richard. He'll take you through the starting order for race number 2.
Thanks, Joe. What a great result it was for Scott McKenzie. 6 in race 1. His previous best was 7th. That was in race 3 of round 1 of the year. David Slay on pole, Malcolm McNabb alongside. Then Tim Slay, Steve Brewster, Kyle Reid and Scott McKenzie rounding out the top 6. Kenny Brewster 7th from Ross Wiley. Behind them, Shane Stoney and Elaine Marshall. It's Fiona Wallace 11th, Danny Dreelan in 12th place, followed by Mikey Falconer and Emma Bruce, then Lewis Grant and Guy Johnston, John Finlayson and William Smith 17th and 18th. 19th on the grid is Steph McMurdo, then it's Chris Reed, and at the back of the grid the 16-year-old Josh Baird. Josh in his 3rd mini meeting took part in the endurance meeting, you might have seen, the non-championship meeting, and he has to start at the back after attracting the attention of the officials in race number 1. So the 16-year-old learning very, very quickly, and well, no disgrace for him at all. He's out there to learn, and he will make some progress, I feel sure, from the back of the grid. Here we go, race number 2 about to get underway. David Slay on pole position in silver and red, the number 1 car, the reigning champion, and away they go. It's a cracking start once again. David Slay leads, Malcolm McNabb in 2nd. Tim Slay makes it a Team Slay Racing 1, 2, 3 as they go down Duffers from Stephen Brewster in 4th place. Then behind them it's Kyle Reid. Shane Stoney is 6th, he's a couple of lengths down, and down on the inside at Scotsman Corner goes Malcolm McNabb into the lead. Malcolm McNabb takes the lead, everybody through Scotsman, and significantly of course before that down Duffers safe and well, including Lewis Grant in car number 24, who speared off on the run down at Duffers on race number 1. He actually had a good result in the end, finished in 15th place ahead of Guy Johnston and John Finnis, and McNabb loses the lead. David Slay back through into the lead, Tim Slay challenging for 2nd. It looked like it might go pear-shaped for them as they come into the oval section of the circuit, and down the inside Kyle Reid. Well, I'll tell you what, if Tim Slay hadn't have seen him, he'd have got boshed out of the way, because Kyle Reid threw his car down the inside challenging for 2nd place. So Kyle Reid and Tim Slay dicing over that What a great sight these cars make as they come out of the hairpin, up across the line. Kenny Brewster dicing with Ross Wiley, you can see on the inside there. Through his lops they go down towards the hairpin, and David Slay, who's going to take this one away from him, but is it going to be Kyle Reid who switches to the outside line, the H&F Moyer car around the outside of the hairpin. Steve Brewster still there. This is where you really do get to see. Oh, and off goes Malcolm McNabb. Malcolm McNabb forced offline, off onto the dirt, loses a place. He really is in the wars in this one. It was a very good podium finish in race number 1, but he finds himself forced back down the order. I think that was Ross Wiley trying to make his way through, so Ross taking no prisoners as he tries to climb through. Of course, Ross in contention for the Newcomers Cup as well. And still Tim Slay hanging on to second place. Where is David Slay? Is he getting away? I suspect at the moment that he probably is, because second, third and fourth all pretty much close together. And you've got to say Tim Slay, well, I don't know, David Slay may be losing a little bit of ground here. I wonder if he's got a problem. So David Slay possibly backing off a little bit. Won't want to back them up too far. Tim Slay still second, Kyle Reid third, Steve Brewster in fourth. And then Ross Wiley really closing in on them now, the blue and white car. As here again comes Kyle Reid in car number 20, challenging for third place. They go into the hairpin, but that's all going to come to naught. He's just trying to work out where he can pass Slay. Remember, Tim Slay's got all the experience of the Scottish XR2s where he was champion, but it's his brother David Slay who leads this one in car number 1, champion elect. After this race there will only be 101 points available in the championship. So David Slay in car number 1 still there at the moment, goes wide as he comes back towards us here, the top of the chicane, out towards Carloop Corner for the last time. The other car's starting to try and reel him in. It's going to be a bun fight as they go down into Carloop Corner for the last time. David Slay from Tim Slay there in second position. Malcolm McNabb still in car number 4 with the fastest lap, a 63.967. So down through his lops they go, and Tim Slay's coming up and having a go around the outside. Down the inside goes Kyle Reid, but it's been blocked by David Slay, and Tim Slay goes around the outside. They're side by side, the Slay boys in formation, and Ross Wiley's coming up as well. And this was Team Slay team racing. David Slay is going to get second, and Tim Slay takes the win. Tim Slay takes the win. David Slay, well, I wonder what the officials, is that allowed? Because it looked like David Slay slowed them up on the last lap, and his brother Tim drove right the way around the outside to take the win. So it's Tim Slay from David Slay, Kyle Reid, Ross Wiley, Steve Brewster, Shane Stoney, Malcolm McNabb finishes in 7th. So it wasn't for Malcolm's benefit. And championship wise, it means that David Slay now has 103 points in terms of a lead, with 101 points now just remaining in the championship. It's going to be the championship for him. Round 20 of the championship won by Tim Slay, with David Slay second from Kyle Reid, Ross Wiley in 4th from Steve Brewster, and Shane Stoney in 6th. 7th goes to Malcolm McNabb, fastest lap 2 to him. Kenny Brewster next from Elaine Marshall. Then it's Chris Reed in 10th from Lewis Grant, and Scott McKenzie in 12th. 13th Guy Johnston from Mikey Faulkner. Danny Treeland, Fiona Wallace in 16th place, 17th was John Finlayson, and 18th Steph McMurdo. The runners completed by Will Smith, Josh Baird and Emma Bruce in 21st.
The final Scottish Mini Cooper Cup race of the day is lined up behind me in the holding bay, and this is the reverse grid. They've cut it at number 8, which puts Kenny Brewster up on pole position, which is really odd because that's where he started the day, having qualified on pole before his brother ran into him, which we heard about a little earlier on. Let's have a wander back down. I want to speak to Shane Stoney. He's 3rd in the grid, the number 89 car. Have a squeeze in here. Shane, this is a good opportunity for you on the reverse grid. You've got the pace. It hasn't quite come together as yet, but you must be pretty optimistic about this.
Yeah, if we can get a good start, we should be okay. But you never know. We'll see how we go.
And you've got some quick lads behind you as well to think about.
Yeah, they're all very quick. Everybody's very quick near the front, so it's not any different really. But we'll see how we go.
Good stuff, good luck. Let's have a little wander further back. I want to speak to Stephen Brewster, the brother of our pole man. Stephen, you've had a difficult day today, not what you needed when you're kind of fighting for a second, or you were fighting for second in the championship.
I think that's gone, but yeah, third between me and Malcolm, sort of fighting away today. Yeah, it's been good fun. I've actually enjoyed it. Apart from qualifying, it's been a fun day. Points have been pretty average, but it's okay, you know, it's okay.
You've had some problems with the car. Obviously, I'll let you get your belts on. Keep going as we're talking away here. Yeah, you didn't have any brakes in qualifying, and you wiped out your brother when he was trying to tow you around. Even in the second race, you didn't have any brakes. Well, you had some brake problems.
Yeah, I was struggling in the second race as well. First race, sorry, the problem hadn't really gone away. The last race was, you know, I think all problems fixed and stuff, but we're fighting away from the start. So it was good fun. I enjoyed it. So see what we can do here.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say you're going to win this one.
Oh really? Cheers to that.
No pressure.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that.
There we go. Let's see if our prediction comes true. I'll hand it to Richard and he's going to take you through the race.
So is that an inspired choice or maybe a kiss of death? Let's wait and see. Thanks, Joe. The grid, then the partially reverse grid. Kenny Brewster starts on pole position, where he started the meeting, ironically. Malcolm McNabb alongside, then it's Shane Stoney and Steve Brewster. Ross Wiley and Kyle Reid on row 3. We're still in the reverse part. On row 4, Tim Slay on the outside, David Slay on the inside. Then it's Elaine Marshall, very nearly getting a pole. Chris Reed next to her, Lewis Grant and Scott McKenzie. Then it's Guy Johnston and Mikey Falconer, Danny Dreelan and Fiona Wallace, John Finlayson, Steph McMurdo 18th. They're followed by Will Smith, Josh Baird and Emma Bruce. Championship wise, we know that David Slay, well, I reckon he's there because there's 103 points clear now, and there are only 4 races left, including this one, which is 101 points. So by my reckoning, he is champion. Third place, though, is very tight. Malcolm McNabb and Steve Brewster, by my maths again, tied on 276 points coming into this race. So the last race didn't quite go the way that Malcolm wanted. Is his reverse grid race going to reverse his fortunes and put him back into third in the championship? It's a great start by Kenny Brewster, who leads. Malcolm McNabb gets away well too. McNabb very quickly off the line and gets the lead. Malcolm McNabb leads. Kenny Brewster, Shane Stoney third. Kyle Reid, and getting turned around is Tim Slay and Stephen Brewster. Brewster's off in the 19 car, and he was involved with Tim Slay. Well, there might even be words in the paddock after that, because it is very much about the Brewsters and the Slays here, and drama in the reverse grid race. Well, that can happen with reverse grid racing, where you've got faster cars further down the grid. Tim Slay's got going again in the Bruce Taxis machine, just ahead of the 25 car, the similar Bruce Taxis livery car of Emma Bruce. So David Slay trying to work his way up through the field, but it's Malcolm McNabb in the lead. Well, it wasn't it? The kiss of death, Joe. I'm sorry to say that. As Shane Stoney looks up the inside for second place. Shane Stoney, English driver, travels up here. The team absolutely love this championship. They're going to do more travelling up here next year. That's the plan at the moment. And he's up into second position. Across the line they go. But Malcolm McNabb out front at the moment. Through go the field. And Shane Stoney up into second, Kenny Brewster third. They're followed by Kyle Reid in fourth in 20. The white and green car, or the white car with the green wheels. Then it's David Slay in car number 1. Champion-elect Ross Wiley down behind him. Well, this is all very, very good stuff as well. Elaine Marshall keeping pace with the lead group. I'm wondering if in Elaine Marshall we're seeing the emergence of another great Scottish lady racer. You know, like Gillian Shedden going back. Carol Brown, of course, who was ladies champion in the minis as well. Carol vying for Legends Cars honours as well this year, taking the battle very much back to Ross Marshall at the moment. Down into the hairpin we come. And in the race leader, Malcolm McNabb still there. There is Kenny Brewster in car number 7. I just love the unpredictability of mini racing. It's 2 straight races at the front of the meeting, which place the faster guys at the front, and then the lottery of the partially reversed grid gives us a little added spice and sparkle. You know, Alan Gow did it in the touring cars. It's not a complete reverse grid like the Legends, which have their own amazing form of entertaining, but it's just right for saloon car racing. And this one here turning around the fortunes of Malcolm McNabb. But we look back from the double champion David Slay at Ross Wiley in car number 15 as they come up through the chicane. Ross Wiley trying to put him under pressure. David Slay in car number 1. His brother Tim a little bit of a way back after that contact on lap 1. I wonder if he's going to do the last round. The car's coming out of Carloop. The third of our 3 9-lap races here. So if you're wondering about what the race format is, some of the drivers get the opportunity to do a bit of testing on the Saturday at Knock Hill. If it's not a 2-day meeting, as Slay looks down the inside of Kyle Reid. David Slay trying to get 4th place. Kyle Reid on the outside in white. David Slay in silver and red. The red stripes on the inside. They're still side by side as they climb up the hill, over the brow, past the pit signals. They won't have time to look at those. And down the hill they come. David Slay's going to have the inside for the first part of Duffers, but Kyle Reid's got his nose in front. Slay takes the line, grabs the position. David Slay up into 4th. Coming up into the mix now as well and trying to put Kyle Reid under pressure is Ross Wiley in 15. Another very good newcomer to the championship this year. Ross running second in the Newcomers Championship. Now just thinking about this, if Malcolm McNabb wins this race, we've got all sorts of Team Slay statistics as Wiley. What a great move by Ross Wiley. Slots himself down the inside of Kyle Reid. That was one of the best passes of the day for my money.
Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
So it's McNabb, Stoney at the moment going through. David Slay in 3rd. All very, very close stuff indeed. David Slay then pulling away. Tim Slay goes through a little bit far down the order and probably too far out of the picture to do anything to help the team. Now we're starting to talk about Team Slay statistics. I think I'm probably going to have to do that a little bit later on. They're going through in 19 is Steve Brewster. The yellow car, and down behind him the 16 of Steph McMurdo, and up in front of them Danny Dreelan in 13. So Steve Brewster still gunning at the moment after some points, just trying to work out. He's going to lose a hatload of points here, Stephen Brewster, because Malcolm McNabb potentially on for 25 points out of this race, and you can see Brewster very much involved but trying to come through on the inside of Daniel Dreelan. Is he going to do it? Yes, he's through, but look at the gap that he's got to make up now on the cars that are in front of him. He's so far behind now. Danny Dreelan thinks about making the repass as they come out of the hairpin. Great to see Steph McMurdo running well in 16 as well. Steph getting better and better. She gains more experience with the cars. That's what it's all about. Seat time, gaining a bit of confidence. But look at the battle for the lead. Malcolm McNabb leads. Shane Stoney in 2nd place. Kenny Brewster 3rd. David Slay 4th. Then it's Ross Wiley in 5th. But it's a quartet pretty much nose to tail for the lead. A bit of a gap actually between 2nd and 3rd at the moment, as you can see as they go up into Carlib Corner. And Malcolm McNabb getting a bit defensive. Shane Stoney in 89 looking for his first Scottish Mini Cooper Cup win here. The youngster who raced in Sax Max. I saw him in the Ginetta Junior Championship a few seasons ago. A very quick racer. We know the name from karting, of course, in his much younger days, and he's still pretty young to be coming into this championship. Kenny Brewster looking at the outside line. This is exactly what mini racing is all about. 5, 6 cars, all pretty much capable of being in with a chance of the lead. Look at Lewis Grant in 24, the black Apex tubular car. As we watch a couple of cars go off, Lewis Grant, from being stone last on the first race of the day, remember he spun off, he went off on the run down to Duffus on the first race. He's up into 8th place. That is real good meeting progress for him. Down into Scotsman Corner they go, and a lift of a wheel there for David Slay as he goes over the curb, and Ross Wiley up the inside of Kenny Brewster. They're side by side. Brewster's got in front, uses the curbs to his advantage, annexes the position, hangs on to it. So David Slay watching all this unfold behind him. And behind Kenny Brewster there's a challenge on as well. It looks like Ross Wiley has dropped a couple of places there. Bit of a James Bond style smoke screen as they go through Carlin, or dust screen we really should say, to get it absolutely correct as the cars come down into the hairpin once again. Malcolm McNabb it is that leads, but under huge pressure from Shane Stoney. Shane Stoney in the 89 car comes from York, the CSK. Chris Stoney karting. On a spin, off goes Guy Johnston in 22. Guy Johnston's facing the wrong way. I don't think there are too many more cars to come through, and he's in such a position that most of them should see it. The yellow's out, the yellow flag's out to try and warn the drivers that the car's there. And I think that Guy will be okay, but look at Shane Stoney in the CSK car really putting the pressure on Malcolm McNabb, and looks up the inside, but McNabb goes across, grabs the line. David Slay's he's got the double champion behind him. David Slay trying to get up here. David Slay could take another win here if he really thinks about it, if he's gunning for it. Into Carluke corner, he's got Kenny Brewster behind him, and David Slay, no doubt at all. Did you see the way the car lifted onto two wheels in third place? He is gunning for this. He wants to take the win. He's got fastest lap. Josh Baird's off in 35, rejoins. So Josh Baird continuing his apprenticeship in the Mini Championship as David Slay is passed. A very opportune moment there up the inside. Kyle Reid, he loves the inside line. Josh Baird comes into retirement. Josh Baird is out of the race, I think. That's going to be, or unless it's just an exploratory visit into the pits to try and see if anything's wrong. No, he is out of the race. Here we come then. Malcolm McNabb still there. Shane Stoney in second. This race is not over yet. We've still got just under 1.2 miles to go. Malcolm McNabb hangs on to it, looking to try and grab another win. Took his first ever win at Croft, and is he going to get another one here today? This will be massively important for Malcolm McNabb if he can grab a win on home tarmac. The live touring car one in front of the cameras and the big crowd at Croft, of course, was massively important, but you'll want to win on your home track as well. And look at Shane Stoney, he's virtually pushing him along the railway straight at the moment. Third place is Kyle Reid. Ross Wiley is back in fifth behind Kenny Brewster. It's going to be a bit of a lottery as they come out of the hairpin for the last time. Shane Stoney is not going to get the win. He runs wide, and Malcolm McNabb is having the run, and he's going to take his first win here at Knock Hill. Lights ablaze, checkered flag. Malcolm McNabb takes the win. Shane Stoney second, Kyle Reid, Ross Wiley, David Slay, Kenny Brewster, Chris Reid in seventh place, Lewis Grant in eighth ahead of Elaine Marshall. And look how close Elaine was to the top group. She gets better and better, leading the Ladies' Championship, and has very nearly done it now. 76 points remaining in the championship, and Elaine 72 points clear of Fiona Wallace. But Malcolm McNabb in that race manages to consolidate third in the championship. Shane Stoney took him very close. It ain't going to be long before the 89 car takes the win, but today it's second behind Malcolm McNabb. Kyle Reid third, Ross Wiley fourth, David Slay in fifth from Kenny Brewster, who is in sixth place. David Slay got the fastest lap, incidentally. Chris Reid seventh, great result for him. Then Lewis Grant, Elaine Marshall ninth, Mikey Falconer 10th, Scott McKenzie in 11th, a good meeting for him. Steve Brewster 12th, then Stephanie McMurdo, Danny Dreeland, John Finlayson 15th ahead of Will Smith. Then it was Fiona Wallace and Emma Bruce in 18th place. So David Slay, champion 468, Tim Slay 353, Malcolm McNabb third from Stephen Brewster, Kyle Reid fifth, and Ross Wiley in sixth place. The newcomers led by Malcolm McNabb from Ross Wiley and Stephen Clark. Everything, of course, to be officially wrapped up at the last meeting, including the Ladies' Championship. Elaine Marshall leading that from Fiona Wallace, with Emma Bruce in third, Stephanie McMurdo fourth, and Louise Flitton in fifth.
Malcolm, great results. It finally came together. You had the rest of your team pulling for you at the start of the day, but it ended up with what you wanted, that win, and some good points.
Oh, absolutely, it's fantastic getting the second win. Had to fight hard for it. Shane was really pushing hard at the end there, and it's pretty much made up for the disappointment in race two. I had the leader threw the car off. It was nobody's fault but my own that I had a bad race, so to come out and rescue that from it well pleased.
At no point were you thinking that with the sensible head to let Shane go, because he was looking pretty feisty at one point?
Which sensible head is that?
To let him go and not take you off so you could collect some points.
I don't have one of those heads. No, I mean, he's not a direct threat in the Newcomers, but I really did want the second win. And also with the Newcomers, as tight as it is, getting first with 25 points as opposed to 20 for second is quite significant. So, yeah, I mean, I think if it got to the stage where it was going, if I didn't let him pass, it was going to be a smash, then yeah, I'd have let him pass, but I was happy to race him.
Now, Tim and David are trying to engineer this 1-2-3 in the championship. How are things looking just now? Have you done the maths in your head?
I haven't. I think me and Stephen were level pegging for third when we went out for that race, but I'm not sure how it's working out, to be honest.
You're third. There we go. You're third.
Excellent.
Good stuff. Well done on the results today. It was up and down, but it ended well, and I can see if I can grab Shane as well. Shane, he's just a young lad. Look at him. Don't be shy. Shane, great result. You were pushing for that win. I was going to tip you for a win. I accidentally tipped Stephen Brewster for it, but when I saw you challenging, I thought it was definitely going to happen.
Yeah, he just drove a fantastically defensive race, and he didn't leave me a single gap to have a go in. So that was about it, really. But it was fantastic fun, really good fun.
Championship-wise, you don't really have anything to lose. You're just out there to get the results. Were you thinking about giving them a wee nudge, starting to get it a little bit hairy?
I was watching the cars behind starting to catch when we were sort of battling a lot harder. So I didn't want to do that. It's not how I drive. So
it's not how you roll.
No.
Good stuff. Well done on the result. And Kyle, a regular on the podium now. Kyle, a little bit disappointed not to get the overall win today, but a couple of good, strong podiums anyway.
Yeah, I was back to 6th, 7th place there, and then kept battling on. And I came at the hairpin, and everyone was just defending. Malcolm was back, everyone up, so got back through and ended up in third again. So another trophy for the house.
Points-wise, happy enough for the weekend?
Hopefully, another points are good, but I think he's away with it now.
You're at the stage where podiums don't make you happy anymore. You want that win.
Yeah, everybody wants to win, so no, it's still good.
Good stuff. Well done. David Slay, 2012 Scottish Mini Cooper Cup champion in conjunction with Celtic Speed. How'd you like that?
Brilliant. Like, thank God it's over now. That's it done. Like a meeting to spare as well. It's never been, I've never had that, but when that buffer in points, so pretty good. Like, good feeling like to get it finished off this early.
You know that I got a bit confused earlier in the year with your results. You did keep yourself quiet. You kept yourself to yourself, but you were just slowly chipping away. Wins. You also became the first person to win 3 in one day last time out as well. So a big achievement this year.
Yeah, that's been pretty good. That one was great to try and get that tallied as well. So it's been a tremendous season. The car's been going great, and if I just could keep it going like that consistently, then who knows what.
Already looking forward to next year. What's the plans with the team, with yourself?
Not too sure yet. We're you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, there's a bit of financial burden involved there. The team will definitely keep on going. Whether I'm going to drive in minis or not, I'm not entirely clear of yet. But we'll see how time pans out, and that'll tell us what's going to happen.
Any young bucks lined up to step up to the team?
Well, I hope so. There's always people that are coming over and speaking to us, So, we'd like to get some other people, like maybe in these cars, and see what they can do as well.
Good stuff. Well done again from this season.
Yep. Thanks very much. Cheers.